Welcome back to another episode of Rocky Topics. This episode is sponsored by the Daily Beacon's special edition issue of the newspaper on census and primary voting. The question for today is, what is the census? We were all like 10 years old when the last one came out. Who even knows? Well, we're going to find out today when we ask students here on Rocky Top, what is the census? Enjoy.
The census is obtaining data about citizens every 10 years just to kind of have a base level information about the population. The census is important because we need to understand what our population is like and how it's changing over time.
I think the census is really important just because it's every 10 years. It gives us a kind of good standing on where we're at. So I just think it's really important for kind of our country as a whole.
Because it kind of helps you understand your population more, and doing it helps you know your demographic in your country.
It is when they take counts as best they can of all the peoples living in America and where and how and high and where, how, and why. I can speak English. The importance, I think, it gives you a good idea of who is living in your country, where they are, what their background is. Importance-wise, of if it's important to know this information, objectively, perhaps not exactly, but for statistics-wise and just to know your general populations, yes. I think it's interesting as someone just likes to look at that kind of stuff for historical records or genealogy records. Those are very important. Politically, most obviously they're going to be used for demographic, trying to figure out who your demographic is, how to swing towards them, and how to win. So in that sense, I think it is a good thing to do for historical and research and cataloging wise. Politically, they're going to use them for their own ends, which is what they have them for.
I would define it as kind of the entire mentality of a party at the time. It's really like a sign of the times almost.
Census, I would probably describe it as gathering as much data as you can about who lives in your country, as well as location, demographics, and it's incredibly important to see such as where communities are more I guess for example more targeted towards man, I'm losing words right now, but important for marginalized communities. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Marginalized. Be able to see who needs more help. Who is more represented in this type of group versus that type of group. I know I'm getting really general. I'm trying not to, but it's important for basically who needs help and what types of people are vulnerable to forces that could cause them to need help.
Well, I'm really not too familiar with the census, but if they do it, I assume it is practical and maybe necessary, so I guess that's all I have to say about the census.
So, did they know what the census was? I don't know. Did they? I'm just some man in the library. All jokes aside, I hope you enjoyed that episode of Rocky Topics. Make sure to check out the special edition issue of the Daily Beacon newspaper on census and voting, hitting shelves today. Make sure to check it out, and I'll see you next time.